Hey folks, Morris McCann here with Morris McCann Backwoods. It is getting hot. It's going to be 105 today, I believe, and the sun's just about over the trees, so I got to get this video shot. Um, I love canoeing. I love canoeing. I'm not a professional canoeist, but I do pay attention to the guys that know what they're doing, and I take that to the field and practice those and try to become, adequate at them, good if I can. So one thing that I see a lot of people do is when they're utilizing a tandem canoe as a solo, you have your stern seat, which is going to be the seat that is closest to the end of the canoe, and then you have your bow seat, which is going to be the one that's furthest away from the tip of your canoe. That's the positions you use when you're using this as tandem. One person will sit back here, and the front of the canoe will be up here where the bow is, where this seat is, furthest away from the tip of the canoe. So you'll have a person sitting here and you'll have a person sitting back here, and this is forward motion is this way. But when you use a tandem canoe as a solo, which I do a lot, especially if I'm hauling quite a bit of gear and I'm going off on an extended trip, I like to bring my 16-foot canoe. At that point, you're going to turn around. Your now then bow seat's now going to become your stern seat, and your stern seat's this end of the canoe is going to be your bow, what used to be the stern. And then there's plenty of videos out there to help you kind of figure out how to distribute your weight. But what that does is that puts your gravity more to the middle, your weight more to the middle of the canoe, which keeps that bow down. So when you get into winds, you're not a sail. I see a lot of people that are just beginners learning how to canoe, and they will sit back here, and especially if you're a heavy guy like me, I'm over 220 pounds. If I sit back here and I don't have a lot of gear in my canoe, I'm just out canoeing around, this bow's gonna pop up and you're just like a sail in the wind. If I get into high winds or whatever, it's just harder to control your canoe. So if you're gonna row one of these as a solo canoe, I've even got knee pads down in my canoe, so if I get into some white water or I need more control of the canoe and I need to get my knees down and get that lower center point of gravity, I just come off my seat, let my knees hit the floor, and I'm there. And then whatever gear I'm using, I just distribute it as I need to. If I'm not carrying a whole lot of gear, I'll put it more toward the bow end, which is now the bow end as a solo canoe. If I'm hauling a lot of gear, then I take that gear and I distribute it and figure out where it fits best for the best control of the canoe. So just remember that. If you own a 16-foot canoe or a 15, if it's a tandem canoe of any kind, when you row it solo, you're just going to reverse. Your bow's going to become your stern's going to become your bow. When you go back to rowing tandem with another person, then it's going to reverse back. That's going to be your stern. This is going to be your bow, okay? So just a little tidbit there. Hope it helps you. And I got another thing to show you real quick. So we're going to do it 1, 2, 3. Now, as you can see here, I've got 2 long sticks that go from thwart to thwart, okay? Some people call them cross members or cross braces. This one here is black locust, and this is a piece of sycamore. They're just 2 sticks that I picked up. I could have done a better job getting something a little bit straighter, but these were handy, and so I just wanted to give it a trial run. And I've attached these with double jam knots that cross each other. Boom, 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 boom. Now, I've tried it with single and double jam knots. They both work. It's just in all how you handle the canoe. But the concept is that I bring this up and I put my head in between these 2 and I pull it over my head, and I'll demonstrate in a minute, into a portage position, and then each one of these will rest on my shoulders. And it works really good. And that way, when I get to camp, before I get to camp, I can always just store these underneath me in the floor or in the bottom of the canoe, whatever. But when I get to camp, now I've got 2 poles if I need to do an awning with the lean-to shelter, or all I have to do is cut down one more dead branch somewhere and I got my makings of a tripod. So it's a dual purpose So when I get to camp, you know, I've got 2 sticks to do something with I want to, or I've got a good hiking stick out of either one of those. So it can serve several purposes, and chances are when I get to camp, I'm gonna be looking up some 4 or 5 foot sticks that I can make tripod out of. That's typically what I do. I make a tripod for boiling my coffee and cooking my meals. So let me turn the camera around and I'll demonstrate how it works, getting it over my head. Okay folks, just kind of a disclaimer here. This is a homemade project. This is something I just thought up. I'm sure that somebody's thought of it before and probably done it before. But this was just something that popped into my head and I thought was a pretty good idea. I do make sure that I tie those knots really tight, and I'm using, you know, I'm gonna trade out that sycamore for probably another piece of black locust. But there are risks in doing something like this. I would never do this with a heavy canoe. This is a very light canoe, so it's no big deal. On my 16-foot Buffalo canoe, this is an 80-pound canoe. It's heavy. It's got double floor built in. It's got double layering on the T4Max, and I've got a really good portage yoke, factory made. So just keep that in mind when you're doing things like this. Be very careful. Use good solid materials. Know your knots, tie them really well, and just be safe, okay? And like I said, I personally am not going to try this with a heavy canoe, but with a light canoe, I'm comfortable with it. So you have to make up your own mind on that, okay? God bless. Thank you guys for watching. Okay, so I always like to pick the canoe up from the right side. That's just my way of doing things. I guess everybody's got their preference. But kind of make sure there's, see those double jam knots, they hold pretty good. But what I try to do, now this is for this particular canoe, how I picked this up. And I think this is, except for weight and material, as far as dimensions and everything, it's almost the same thing as a pack canoe. So what I do, grab the gunnel, get it rested on the front of my legs, front of my feet, my thighs. I like to grab it on the inside the seat here, pull it up, grab the gunnel. Now I'm gonna reach under the canoe and just pull it up over my head, just like that. And that makes a pretty good portage yoke. And we'll pull up here. Now these, for some people, these may hurt your shoulders a little bit. They're really not bad on mine. I could see over a long period of time it may be kind of, you know, uncomfortable on the shoulders. So what I do is just grab the sticks themselves, and that way I can kind of manipulate and take a little pressure off. But it feels great. I mean, it's real easy to carry around. And then when I go to put it down, I just reverse. I'm gonna grab under the canoe here, over, grab the gunnel, back down. And that works good. And like I said, then when you get to camp, you've got 2 sticks there that I guarantee you're gonna wanna use for something. So anyway, those are just a couple of tidbits to make life a little easier on the river or the lake. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I like sharing stuff. It's a good time. Anyway, if you guys will like, subscribe, and share, help me grow the channel. Appreciate you guys. God bless. I'll be making another one real soon. Okay?